Hai is back on 2 Kook. That night, the Beijing skies seemed to vibrate with the thousands of voices filling the arena for Ziyu's year-end concert. The giant, spiral-shaped stage radiated a silvery blue light that swept across the room, making the audience feel as if they were floating in space. No one could have imagined that this concert, which had been anticipated for months, would turn into the most viral night in the history of the Chinese entertainment industry. Ziyu stepped center stage in a long black coat adorned with tiny crystals, sparkling like scattered stars. Spotlights followed her every move. Her voice echoed, soft yet powerful, filling the hearts of everyone in attendance. On the giant LED screen behind her, footage from her childhood and early career played, depicting a long journey filled with hard work and tears. In the audience, some fans were already in tears just watching the clips from her past. They knew how difficult Ziyu's journey had been to get to this point. But even these loyal fans didn't know that the night held surprises beyond even their wildest imaginations. As the third song ended and the stage turned a golden red, a brief narration of Ziyu's accomplishments began to play from the speakers. She looked down, smiled faintly, and wiped the corners of her eyes. In that instant, everyone could sense the depth of gratitude she carried for this night. However, off stage, someone else was preparing to appear, someone whose presence would transform the atmosphere into a sea of emotions. Ziyu continued with the ballad Sanker Bintang. The lights dimmed, leaving only a soft halo surrounding her. Her falsetto floated in the air, stirring the hearts of everyone who heard it. As she reached the song's climax, an artificial wind blew, causing her hair to lift gently, as if floating in a vacuum. The audience braced for Ziyu's final high note, but as the final note faded, the entire arena suddenly went dark. It wasn't choreography. It wasn't a standard effect. A strange silence fell over the venue. Fans looked at each other, wondering if this was part of the performance or if something else was happening. From the darkness, the sound of slow footsteps could be heard. They sounded clear, steady, and confident. Then a golden halo lit up on the right side of the stage. A figure stood in the center of the light. And when his face came into view, the entire room exploded. It was Tian Xuning. Some audience members screamed until their voices cracked. Others covered their mouths with their hands, unable to believe what they were seeing. Tian Xuning's name instantly filled fans' phone screens, trending within seconds. There were no rumors, no leaks, no warnings. His presence was completely unexpected. Ziyu, standing a few meters away, froze instantly. His eyes widened, his body seemed to lose control, and his face filled with pure shock. The reaction was captured clearly by the dozens of cameras focused directly on him. He didn't move. He didn't blink. He didn't breathe for a few seconds that felt like an eternity. Tian Xuning slowly stepped forward, carrying a bouquet of white and blue roses, Ziyu's favorite colors. His smile was calm, gentle, and full of warmth. The fans screamed even louder, some even going hysterical as the moment unfolded right before their eyes. This wasn't just any ordinary surprise. These were two big names on one stage in one moment, without warning. When Tian Xuning finally stopped just a meter away from Ziyu, the entire world seemed to stand still. The camera captured every detail: Ziyu's teary eyes, her trembling lips, and Tian Xuning's outstretched hand holding the bouquet. Everyone held their breath. Ziyu finally made a sound, a soft laugh mixed with emotion. She covered her face with one hand, as if she couldn't believe Tian Xuning was actually there before her. Fans screamed, finally. They're on the same stage, and the arena erupted in a flurry of emotions. Tian Xuning picked up the microphone and said, "I came because I want a night to be one of the most meaningful memories in your life, and in all of our lives." The words sent the crowd into a frenzy, while Ziyu stared at him with sparkling eyes. The stage lights turned a soft silver and blue. Background music began to play, an acoustic version of their old duet, a song they hadn't performed in years. As Ziyu listened to the intro, she closed her eyes, caught her breath, and then gave Tian Xuning a small nod. They began to sing. Their voices melded in such beautiful harmony that some in the audience bowed their heads, trying to contain their emotions. The intensity of their voices sent a vibration through the arena, and every word felt like the reopening of a long-lost chapter. Ziyu and Tian Xuning's gazes met several times, sending the audience into a frenzy. Some called this moment a reconciliation, some a legendary reunion, and some even called it the most emotional moment in the history of modern Chinese music. When the song ended, Tian Xuning held Ziyu's hand briefly, long enough to set the entire online world ablaze. Camera flashes came from all directions. Hashtags about the two of them topped national trends within minutes. Ziyu finally managed to speak, her voice trembling but full of sincerity. "Thank you for coming. I'll never forget this." Tian Xuning simply replied with a barely concealed smile. The cheers erupted endlessly. The fans knew they had just witnessed history. It wasn't just a mere surprise. This was a moment that would be remembered for years to come. When Tian Xuning disappeared from the stage, Ziyu remained frozen, clutching the bouquet of flowers tightly to her chest. She looked at the audience and smiled, saying, "You all saw. I'm still shaking too." The media then began publishing exclusive photos from that night. Ziyu still holding the flowers and smiling shyly, Tian Xuning standing backstage after leaving, gazing proudly at the stage, and thousands of fans waving their light sticks and crying tears of joy. Each photo told a story, and each story emphasized how precious that moment was for the entertainment industry. Now, fans could only hope that this wouldn't be the last time they saw Ziyu and Tian Xuning share the stage. Speculation abounded about possible new collaborations, joint projects, or even an official reunion. But one thing was certain, that night had written a new chapter in Chinese music history, and its resonance was still felt today, shaking the hearts of the millions who witnessed the miracle. The concert continued, but the atmosphere never returned. Everyone knew that the most monumental part of the night had just happened. The moment Ziyu froze in shock and Tian Xuning appeared with flowers made this concert one of the most viral events of the year. And so, a night that was initially scheduled as a year-end concert turned into a legend. A story that will continue to be told by fans around the world. To Kook, you will always be ready to immortalize stories like this. And this, without a doubt, is one of the most unforgettable.